say these things, just ask them out. Alright, as if you really believe them. But I hope you don't. It's about rules. Rules, rules, rules. I hate rules. Can't do this, can't do that. No freedom to do what I want. Why can't I do what I want? I have a feeling that we have all felt like this before, that we don't like rules. So what rules don't you like? What rules don't you like?
Give Jay.
I think it's in like, I forgot what state, but you can't fish off a draft or something like that.
Oh, you know, we talked about that, didn't we?
Yeah.
You can't fish over draft.
Can't fish-
Haley, what rules don't you like?
That we can't use our phones during lunch.
Can't use your phones during lunch.
During classes.
Yeah, we are definitely very connected to our phones, aren't we? We want to be able to use our phones whenever we want. Yeah. You know what? I think that's a rule I struggle with too. I want to use my phone in class.
Me too. Every rule in the book.
What does that mean?
Every single rule.
Everything, you don't like any rules?
That's what I was gonna say.
So like,
I don't like rules.
Rules and everybody else like would go crazy.
well, there's a rule not
So
to
why don't you like the rule
Oh,
about the
Hunger
phone?
Games.
Hey guys, we're gonna let's see. I should get out the talking ball or something. We're gonna let's
Thursday,
see.
Haley said, I volunteer for tribute.
It's such a big part in our modern lifestyle, and it's like, I mean, it's not like we would use an in class, the sheet, like between class and at lunch as like a way of like, I don't want to say like, almost like a relaxation kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like to take stress off you from like your classes
Mhm.
and like kind of make it fun when you're not
Yeah.
learning.
I don't like, for me, like the phone thing is that I just want to use my phone whenever I want to use my phone.
Actually, at one point I was taking selfies in English class.
You definitely, I mean, but they could like include phones in like English class and stuff to look up words and
It
stuff.
does, yeah. At one point in this class, you do use your phone.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. So they try to work it in a little bit. What other rules that we like?
Yeah, she was tired of doing dishes, so she bought us like one bowl and one plate, and that's all we did to like use it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We just washed it all the time and stuff
What do you like the rule?
because we have to wash dishes like all the time.
So you have to wash
Kind of.
dishes.
Like after every meal, we have to wash the dishes and stuff.
So you gotta do work. What are the purpose of rules?
What does that mean?
Oh,
Pool ball.
What are the purpose of rules?
I know.
It's a pool ball.
To keep order.
To keep order. That is one purpose of rules. We're gonna bring it down a little bit, and Latanya wanted to say something about why we have rules. What's that?
So we don't die.
So we don't die. Actually, we're gonna talk about that today. What did you say about rules, Jaden?
They keep order.
They keep order, they give structure, right? So I need a volunteer.
Pick me.
But I already picked you.
Yeah, no, pick me again.
Andrew, don't chuck pool balls at me.
Alright. So I need to hold you the frisbee, okay?
The frisbee
So let's take a moment, we're gonna look at this frisbee. And basically the frisbee's flipped upside down, and we're gonna put a pool ball in the frisbee. You can come stand on the plastic. Everybody can see you. Oh, you're already doing it. And if you start like moving the frisbee in circles, the ball will like start going around. And
Looks like a molecule.
basically, what's keeping the ball inside the frisbee? The size. So like what could the size be?
rules.
Like rules and boundaries, right? But what if you like speed up the ball? Eventually, if you go fast enough,
Yeah, I can do it.
the ball will fly out.
Is that why there were plastic bags on
Yeah.
No.
That's why.
Yeah, so pool
It's
ball.
But like, if you take it fast enough, it flies out, right?
You think
And what could have happened if that flew out? The ball.
Yes,
It
right.
could have
Broke the window.
hurt you really bad, right? And they could have broke the cue ball, right? So what?
Yeah, we were in just
So besides rules giving boundaries to keep us safe, what else does it do? It keeps other people safe, right? That are around us. So the force that creates this push of outward motion with the ball, what is that? What'd you say? Centrifugal force. Can you explain that a little bit more? No? Okay, so centrifugal force is that pressure that pushes the ball up against the sides. And that also creates it when you go faster, the ball like gets higher and higher. And then eventually flies out and could hurt somebody, right? So what are some laws or guidelines that we could give to this ball going around to keep it from flying out of the frisbee? Haley?
School zone, no faster than 25 miles an hour.
Okay, so like speed of the ball, right? You can't go too fast. You can't go too slow because otherwise it's not gonna really go anywhere. Okay, so that's one of the speed. What else do you think?
Yeah, she kind of took me.
Science.
Yes.
I don't like it.
They don't hate
What else can we give to the ball? What other rules can we give to the ball? Yeah, Jane?
Don't go too high.
Don't go too high. So you don't like wanna like do this or like you don't wanna like tip it over. Because you want to keep the ball inside the frisbee for a couple reasons. One thing, you could break the cue ball.
Or it could break your face.
Or it could break your face. Or it could break somebody else's face. Haley?
Okay, so if it flies out, then it has to go to cue ball jail.
Yeah, then it would have to go to cue ball jail. That way, punish the cue ball. You discipline the cue ball. That way it doesn't do it again, right? So we need a police force for this cue ball.
Yeah.
So would that be like the pool table?
So who's our police force?
Punishment would be like
Oh boy! Everybody wants to be the police force.
No, it's my idea. I have to be able to do it.
Alright, Haley is officially the police force for this cue ball. But there are some rules in society like wearing a helmet, wearing your seatbelt. In some states, it's required that you wear a helmet. I don't think it is in Michigan. But, what do you think about the seatbelt rule? Like, should you have to wear a seatbelt?
I mean, to a
Is it
certain
in-
extent, I understand because like it'll protect you, but like if the car's like fiery and burning, and the thingy gets stuck, then you can't get out and you
Yeah.
die.
Yeah.
if the car is firing and burning,
So
the
is it-
seatbelt will just burn.
Let's think more like some people don't like wearing helmets. Should Michigan make it a law that people have to wear helmets?
Yes,
Yes?
because I mean, after therapy, I know they don't do as much
Drop and roll.
as they maybe should.
Hey, guys.
It will help.
Yeah.
But it will help reduce risks of major injuries.
Yeah. The helmet protects you as well, right? Yeah. So that's a great guideline. But to answer this difficult question about laws and what are they about, should we have laws, we're going to look at a few passages of Scripture. And then the first one is Ephesians chapter 6, 1 through 4. And I was actually going to have all this typed out and put on here, but I'm going to have to look them all up.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's okay, I know where they're at.
What are you doing?
So Ephesians chapter 6, 1 through 4 says this. Oh, I just got sound. That's amazing. Thanks. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor your father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. See, parents have rules for a reason. And I know some of those reasons you may think may, be to make your life horrible, or not allow you to do anything that you want to do that is fun, ruin your fun. But I'm going to be talking about some reasons that I believe parents have rules, and they're good reasons. There are three main reasons that I believe parents have rules. It is to protect you, to guide you, and to give you understanding of right and wrong. So the first one is to protect you, and in Ephesians 6:3, which I just read, is that parents give rules that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life. That this is why we're supposed to obey our parents. That it's going to go well with you and give you long life. Now, through rules, parents provide a safe place for you guys to live, right? How about the rule, don't run in the middle of the road? Okay, so that's sort of like 4-3 rules, but it keeps you safe, right?
No,
Does it keep you safe from being fall because you know to move out of the way when there's a car?
That's true.
but what if you're walking on the sidewalk and a car comes for you?
Yeah, that is a
Then
problem.
if you walk, police will come arrest you. The parents are driving the car.
Yeah,
True.
but that's not a cue
Jump on the
ball.
hood.
What
I
if
don't
that's
care.
wrong?
It's still
But
a police
parents,
force.
parents give rules to protect.
Cue ball.
Okay, we're going to bring it in once again. Parents give rules to protect you. Paul, the author of Ephesians, states in another place, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. What that means is that you can do anything you want, but there's some things that you shouldn't do that aren't good for you. Well, yeah, and that's partially why rules are set in place by parents. We can do anything. It's possible to do anything, but we shouldn't do everything. Because some of those things are going to hurt us or are going to hurt other people. A parent who has rules to protect is saying to their children, so what they're saying to you, I care about you, I care about your well-being, I love you, and I want to protect you with all that I am, and with everything possible. And I think we lose sight of that, right? Because we get all these rules, and all we can think about is wanting to break the rules, but we totally forget that they're there to protect us and that they're there because our parents love us. The next one is to guide. And in Proverbs 13:24, Proverbs 13:24 says this: He who spares the rod hates his son or his children, but he who loves him is careful to discipline him. So what do you think about, what is that rod? What do you think that rod is?
Rules.
Rules? That's a good one. What did you say? Nothing.
Whips.
Whips?
For whipping them.
That's whips for whipping them? Okay, so we have rules and whipping, spanking. Well, we're going to talk about the rod for a second. In Psalm 23, it talks about a rod and a staff. Do you guys know what Psalm 23 is? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want.
Leads me beside shallow waters. He restores my soul.
Yeah, very good. That's exactly.
And I dwell in the house of the Lord.
Yeah, that is it. Exactly. So the Psalm 23 starts out with, the Lord is my shepherd. And then later about the rod and the staff, it states, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. To the shepherd, the rod is his tool, right? The staff is his tool to protect the sheep, to guide the sheep, to comfort the sheep. How does he protect the sheep with his staff? Well,
He beats the lions into
he beats
submission.
the lions into submission. Exactly. He keeps them away. And literally, I mean, that's really, being a shepherd back in the day was like one of the most dangerous thing you could have done. And so he keeps the lions away with the staff, and he protects the sheep, he comforts the sheep, and he guides the sheep with the staff. And the idea of guidance in Proverbs 22:6 says, in talking about guidance, direct your children on the right path, and when they are older, they will not leave from it. So that rod isn't necessarily, spanking your children or a bunch of rules, but that rod is the tools, which could be possibly spanking, it could be rules, in which your parents are protecting you, your parents are guiding you in the right direction, so that if by chance you were to get off the path, you were to leap out of this frisbee,
Yeah, you stay.
and you were to get off the path, it would give you a way to get back in to those guidelines and get back onto the right path with God and your parents, with your family in your life. So it protects, it guides, and then the last one, I'm going to use the word enlighten. Like a flashlight? Like if it's dark in here, what does a flashlight do if you turn it on?
It makes a light.
You can see things, right? What'd you say, John?
It makes it bright.
It makes it bright. Yeah, I really like that. Makes it bright. And that is what a flashlight does. And in the same way, rules or laws, they shine light in areas of our life where we're doing things wrong, right? Like when we break a rule, if we know that it's a rule, we know that it's wrong. But without rules and without laws, how do we know that we're doing something wrong? Right? If we're not told that we're doing something wrong, then maybe it's okay that, if I was never told that it wasn't okay to mouth off to my parents, then I would think, well, there's no negative consequences, so I can just keep doing that. And I don't have to listen to my parents. If they don't set down the law, if they don't tell me, no, that's wrong. And that same thing is the way, like a flashlight. Rules and laws shine into our lives to reveal to us in places that we need to grow. So parents give rules to protect, guide, and enlighten. So what? Laws protect, they guide, and enlighten, but what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me? Well, there's a few things in it for you. One of them was mentioned, you're not going to die, maybe. One of them is long life. But that doesn't guarantee, right, that good people die every day, right? So what else is there other than long life that happens? Well, let's say a more quality life as we obey our parents. Because we're being protected, we're being guided in the right direction. And in Ephesians, remember, it says that this is the first command with a promise that you will live a long life, a longer life. The next one is a deeper growing relationship with God. Jesus states in the book of John, if you love me, you obey my commandments. So through our obedience to our parents and to laws, we're growing in this relationship with God. Does that make sense? That as we obey our parents, we're also obeying God, and through that, we're showing love to Him, and we're obeying that love with Him. Does that make sense, Daniel? Yeah. Okay. And the last one is, it comes after that, is a deeper growing relationship with family members. Why do you think? What are the consequences to disobeying, like if your parents say something to you in your house? What are the consequences of that? Get grounded from your phone.
No screen time.
And that is
No screen time? Well, in my house, a lot of times if people disobey, there's some yelling that goes on, right? Maybe an argument that goes on. And it creates this negative atmosphere in the house, right? It creates this tension that we really don't want to be there. So what are some of the positive consequences of obeying our parents? What is that? Maybe the atmosphere that it creates, or anybody? The positive things that happen when we obey our parents.
Positive attitude.
Yeah, a positive attitude gives you a positive attitude, and it gives them a positive attitude, right?
You get advantages.
Like what?
Like, you get to go places.
You get to go places? Okay, so you don't like get grounded or anything?
No.
I would say some of the positive advantages that I've seen of obeying my parents is that I have a deeper growing relationship with them. And why would that be? Well, I'm not in tension with them. I'm showing them that I love them, and that love is growing for them as their love is growing for me as we work through the different things as they protect me and I go through with that.
Last week, we had this thing called breakout at our school,
Mhm.
and a lady came to talk to us, and one of the ladies talked about like the rewards and consequences for doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. What's one of the things you got out of that? No, but that's cool. They were talking about that. Absolutely. Anybody else can think of any positive things that come out of obeying our parents?
You get to have the TV in your room.
Okay, so you get certain privileges, right? But once again, I would like to say, like, the big thing for me is that I'm developing a deeper, growing relationship with my parents through obeying them. So, what's the big deal? Maybe you're sitting here and you're thinking, Andrew, yeah, rules, but I don't really think we should have rules because they're really dumb and they keep me from doing things that I really want to do. Some of you, are teenagers or they're preteens, and sometimes we may think that we should be able to run our own lives and, in a sense, be our own parents. So what would be the consequence of living a life without rules? And I have some eggs.
Eggs!
They're not boiled.
Why are they?
Can I have one?
Are they boiled?
They're not boiled.
Oh, not going to go in the middle.
Oh, can I do this?
I
my foot again.
have some eggs. And so a life without boundaries would be what?
A disaster.
A disaster, right? Like, people, what did we say in the beginning? Like, people would do whatever they wanted. People would get away with murder, and they would get away with stealing things, they would get away with lying, and life would just be terrible.
Oh,
because,
jeez!
well, there would be no...
It's like the girls.
There would be no boundaries, right? But see, that's just one person doing the wrong thing. Josh, there are boundaries.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on, man.
What if there weren't boundaries? What if like two people got in on this and they're like, I don't want boundaries.
Yeah.
And boundaries are really stupid.
Yeah,
I
they
can
are.
do whatever I want. And well, first of all, it ends in disaster.
Can I try it?
Life ends in disaster, and it ends in a mess, just like those eggs on the ground without our boundaries. And we just become this puddle of something on the ground, and our life just becomes something terrible. And what if the whole world is like this? What if we had no boundaries?
Man, that would stink.
Become a
As long as I had some
Can I try?
toast eggs.
We need boundaries. And one of the main examples of this is that if we didn't have boundaries, if there is no such thing as obedience, if there is no such thing as rules, then ultimately Jesus wouldn't have died on the cross, because he would have done what he wanted. He would have not done his Father's will, because he was really in the garden. He was really going through a lot of pain, right? He was like, Father, not my will, but yours be done. If there were no rules, if there was no such thing as obedience, then we would be in a world full of mess altogether. Ephesians states Jesus gave himself up for us as an offering to God. He could have disobeyed, but he went through the pain of disobedience to allow you the benefits of obedience. Let me say that again. He went through the pain of obedience to allow you the benefits of obedience to him, that you would have long life, eternal life, a relationship with God and others. We are called to imitate Jesus in his obedience. I don't want your life to be a mess. I don't want your life to be a mess. I don't want my life to be a mess. Right? You don't want your life to be a mess. Right? You don't want to be an egg on the, what is that? Black trash bag? I want you to have a good relationship with your parents and God. Your parents show you love through giving you rules to protect you, to guide you, and show the difference of right and wrong. To show you the difference of right and wrong. Should we not obey and give them that love back? And I really want us to grasp onto that. Take the opportunities this week to obey them, to show them that we love them, and in that way, be apologizing to them for those past times. So let us pray. God, we thank you so much for today. We thank you for putting parents in our lives that love us.